Yeah, it's beautiful. And what strikes me that you mentioned, for example, your meaning can become helping to alleviate your own suffering and the suffering of others, which is often becomes the main purpose for someone, for example, who's following a Buddhist path. And it just strikes me that in the developed Western world, there's kind of this default religion for people who don't have a religion, which is, I would call egoism, and this belief in personal self-help, and the idea is you're just trying as hard as you can to be personally happy. But as you pointed out, that can only take you so far. And trying to focus only on yourself and making yourself happy.
Okay, that's good. Because most of my clients belong to that category. belong to, I wouldn't believe in myself, they say, I wouldn't believe in myself. And most of them are very successful. The executives, the doctors, the business people. And having achieved more than they ever dream of, there is still a hole in their soul. They still feel the inner emptiness. They say, what's next? What's my next challenge? And then soon I'll be dead. So the reality of death, not the win of their lives. Even though I was successful, say, well, one day I will die. So egoism, let me put it this way, egoism is necessary because the Buddha says that we only have one life. We have to take care of it. If we don't take care of it, who will? I mean, everyone has one life, and we are responsible to take care of this life. Make sure that it's healthy. It can be an instrument for good. So egoism, up to a degree, is essential. And the Bible says, and the fact, the golden rule, do unto others as you will others do unto you. The golden rule is same like love your neighbors as yourself. So of self-compassion, self-love is the foundation. If you don't love yourself, how are you love other people? Right? Love yourself means take care of it, make sure it's healthy, make sure it's happy and well. So egoism is part of the whole thing, but not the terminal value, not the whole of life. You take care of our life, that's the starting point, but then you have to move on. You say, me as a separate, isolated individual, clothed in skin, that is an illusion. The world is not just for me. In fact, we were hardwired for other people. We're hardwired for the universe, for the web of life, for the cosmos. So me is just a little drop of water in an ocean. Me is not the whole story. So that's why for my meaning therapy, so I always tell my clients that the body needs food, water, and clean air. Without these three things, the body will not function, will perish. A fit mind, mental health, also needs three things. We need food for life. Food means meaningful work, or calling. Everybody is called to something. Some people are called to be a monk. Some people are called to be a musician. We're all here for a purpose. We're all here to play a role. We're all here to produce our own fruit, to feed the humanity. So that's a calling that kind of meaning is our food, daily food. We also need water. Water is our relationship with other people, with our family, with our friends, with the community, with the larger humanity. So life will be miserable if you are living in an island all by yourself. Then you have to create football as your friend. Eh? We all need someone to talk to. Eh? And so you need to spend time to cultivate a relationship. Sometimes, just yesterday I talked to a famous doctor, my client. He lack all the balance because he spend all his time on his work. I say, you lack all the balance. You also need to spend some time cultivate a relationship with your family. So once you have no more relationship area is being ignored, and then you be in trouble. So certainly, that life is not just about people. I'm watching NetFact, the documentary on nature. Oh, God created such a beautiful planet Earth with all the animals, trees, different topography, mountains, desert. It's such a beautiful world. We open our eyes, have seen the awe about the wonders and beauty of creation. And to look at the sky, the star, the galaxy, billions of galaxies. They all move in their orbit. So there must be some super intelligence, super power to keep them. That's why Einstein said, the more I study science, the more believe in a God somewhere, in an unknown God somewhere that keep everything going. So that's why means therapy is saying, someone said that you have to find a calling and work towards that. That they need meet. You need to relate to people, spend some time with other people. That's your daily water. You need to spend time in prayer and meditation. Meditate on the wonderful world we live in. Meditate on the gift of life. Meditate on compassion for other people. Wow, then life will be more meaningful, doesn't matter what your situation.
And how can someone begin to shift their mindset toward that self-transcendence and toward altruism?
Okay. So here's what I say. Okay. What you mean? There is the horizontal level. Horizontal. Success, happiness. Most people focus on the me egoism horizontal level. But I guarantee you, at this level, you can never be happy. You will end up in disillusion, end up in despair, because the horizontal level only takes you so far, it will end in death. You need to, if you don't believe me, you read all the stories, all the great people. I mean, at the end, because the spiritual need cannot be satisfied by material gains or by worldly fame. At the end, they also feel empty. They leave the world empty. But you need to think about vertically that there is an invisible spiritual dimension that dealing with meaning and purpose, that dealing with what is invisible but more real, dealing with this transcendental reality, dealing with afterlife, or reincarnation, or heaven, whatever you visualize, are dealing with the world of our ancestors. So there is a vertical dimension have two ways. One is going up, one is going down. Going down means that when suffering happens, that's okay. I go deeper to find way out. I go deeper. The deeper you go, all religion is the same when you go at the deepest level. All human knowledge seeking is still at the deepest level. All the truths come to the same point. So you go deeper to find the truth. Find the truth you need. Whether it's in Buddhism or in Stoicism or in Christianity, but they all end up somewhere to find the deep down below. You have to go to hell before you go to heaven. If you're not willing to go to hell, you never find heaven. So I'm willing to endure suffering, pay the price of going deeper, then we'll discover the way up. We need to go to descend to hell before we can find heaven. The Buddha spent 40 days under the tree. That 40 days, that Jesus spent 40 days in the desert, same thing. 40 days of inner struggle, of suffering, and wrestling with darkness, with dark demons. Then they see the light. They see the light, they see the light not in daylight. They see the light in the darkest night, in the deepest hell. That's where you find the light. So that light will lead you to go up. Go up, then your joy is rooted in suffering. Then you'll be more resistant to disruption, to disaster. So you find your root in suffering. Then that's your foundation for your well-being. Your well-being is rooted in suffering. Then you're more resistant to outside disruption, outside events. Then you're able to grow tall and strong and spread your branches and produce good fruit to feed other people. And then you feel so happy. And why you're so happy? Because you are rooted in suffering. So it's a paradox, right? You see,
Right.
Because of suffering, to discover joy. If you only pursue happiness, you never discover that. It's superficial. So the thing is that your choice. You either live a shallow life on a horizontal level, or you want to say, I want to live a deep life. I want to have depth, so that I can understand other people's suffering, so I can help other people, so I can be unmovable, undefeatable, because I plant my feet in suffering, I sink my root in suffering. So if you look through bad things at me, I say, well, that's part of the suffering that come my way. So I just embrace it and welcome. So I teach my clients the same thing. They all got help from this radically different way of helping people. I say, well, thank God you're suffering now. Welcome to the club. I have a young man about to kill himself because his first love from high school, his girlfriend left him. He's really so depressed, he wanted to kill himself. I say, congratulations, you lost your first love. I tell you that because statistically, most first love do not last very long. Either end up in divorce or break up, because you don't know, you're too young to know what kind of partner will be best for you. I say, congratulations, that you did not get sucked into marriage. You'll be bad married, most likely, because you're too young. So thank God that she save you by deserting you. So give your time to find the right person for your life. He suddenly woke up. Suddenly woke up.
Yeah. It's so counterintuitive that we have to turn towards suffering and ultimately embrace it in order to get to a place of true happiness.
Transform it, yeah.
And